Hi guys, today we're going to be making brownie tartlets. Take a look at them. Aren't these gorgeous? 2 bites and they're gone. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. So happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm so glad to be spending St. Patrick's Day with you. This is 2014, March 17, 2014. Look, I'm wearing my green. See, I'm wearing my green. And take a look behind me. I fixed the problem with the refrigerator with the reflection. I just went and bought some construction paper, or like in Belize we know it as Bristol board, and I just kind of put my logo on that, and so it's fixed. No more glare in your eyes, okay? I want you guys to know that this is the 300th video that I'm putting up at the show since I started the show a couple of years ago. So I'm very excited to do this fun recipe with you guys. And Jada and I thought up this recipe because we were at Costco yesterday and somebody was buying a big old bin of these things. And Jada says they're brownies, but they're in little tart pans. You know, that's how the shape was. So I decided I've got tart pans. I'm going to come home and make these, and I'm going to call them brownie tartlets. So of course you can have as much fun as you want to have with these. You can dress it up or leave it bare. And just a little one will be a serving. So that's pretty awesome. So let's get started first of all with the ingredients that we're going to be needing, and let's get right into making the brownies. Alright guys, so of course to make these brownie tartlets, I'm going to use the brownie recipe that I have at the site already, the one that's called homemade box brownie. And what I always do, I told you guys before, I keep it in a Ziploc bag. I just measure out like the double recipe all the time so we can have brownies. Like if somebody shows up at my door for the moment, I can have a dessert going in no time at all. So for this recipe, the double recipe, it's a cup of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 2/3 cup of cocoa, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. That's the dry ingredients. I'm going to shake it real well in this bag in a little while. For the wet ingredients, I never have that measured out, of course, because you kind of have to grab that as you go. I'm going to use 4 eggs right here. And I've got a cup of, this is canola oil, and I always like use the clear oil. And I've got 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So what I'm going to do is start, ooh, I'm spilling some of my oil. I'm going to start off with my egg first by just kind of whisking it together so that we can break all the yolks. So dump it in this bowl. And by the way, Jada and I got this idea when we were at Costco yesterday and we saw somebody buying these little brownie tartlets, and I don't know what they called it, but that's what I'm calling it. So let me go ahead and pour the canola oil in here, and of course you can use corn oil, but any of the clear oils. I wouldn't use coconut oil though, okay, because it'll overpower the taste of your brownies. So the wet ingredients is all mixed, so what I'm going to do now is shake up the dry ingredients. I never shake it up after I first mix it together. So I'm just shaking it up now, see? Make sure it's blended in well. And then put my little bowl back into view. And just a matter of adding it in here. And whisk. Very simple to make brownies. And then of course I'm going to reload this bag later on today before I put it back in the pantry. I'm going to reload. So this is kind of like having brownies in a box. And of course, if you don't want to make this recipe from scratch, you can go to the store and get brownies in a box. So let me go ahead, get this all worked in for you. And then when we come back, we're going to be getting ready for the tart pan. Alright guys, so I found a little bit of chocolate chips. Jada was talking about all this chocolate chip that was in the fridge. It's very little bit, so I'm going to toss it in there because I don't know when I'm going to use these chocolate chips again. So just going to toss it in my little brownie mix. And then let me set this aside to show you. You guys remember when I bought my tart pan? I so regret not buying 2, but they were like $26. It was like $26. So I couldn't afford another one at the time. So all I'm doing here, I melted a little bit of butter and I'm just brushing it in the tart pans, all right? I don't use that Pam thing that sprays. I just have issues with things that spray out of a can. So I don't use hairspray, stuff like that, all right? I guess because Jory was asthmatic, you know, ever since he was a baby, that We don't spray too many things from a can. So after greasing the tray, I decided I'm going to use this blue funnel to try to push the batter through because I want it to go neatly into each cup. I don't want to have to mess up the tart pan. But I soon realized that this funnel is too small, so I switched to this big orange one. And even though the hole or the opening is a lot larger, the stem is so long that it's taking a long time for the batter to travel through into the pan. And so I decided to bring Jada in, and she's just using a sandwich bag that's zipper shut, and she cut off the end of it and is using it as a piping bag. Now, Jada's really good at this type of stuff, and she loves doing this. I absolutely hate doing this because I'm the kind of person that it will squirt out the other end and just make a big mess. I'm really not good at this type of stuff. So, but Jada's having a grand old time just reloading the bag and pouring it into the little cups one at a time. And so because I'm not good at this, at using the piping bag, and the funnels are not actually working, this is what I decided to do to make it work for me. I'm just gonna spoon the batter out of the bowl into the cups, and of course you see it's a little bit messy. That's what I was trying to avoid, right? So these are the options that you have, guys, and you're gonna bake this on 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. I'm leveling off everything first before I put it in the oven. Of course, you can slam the tray down on the counter to level it off better. And why don't you go ahead and take a look at how beautiful they are in the oven. Almost done. So I've had a lot of fun today making this video, and take a look, of course, at how beautiful our brownie little tartlet looks. Gorgeous, isn't it? So it was fun because this is a recipe that we've done before, so it's easy. We can do this in our sleep. And I wanted it to be different than just making the brownie rectangular and then putting it in the pan, cutting it into squares. This is awesome. You can take this to a potluck and be different. You can decorate the top with icing and stuff if you want. I don't want anything on the top though. I like chocolate to just be chocolate by itself. So I'm going to call these brownie tartlets. They're not really like a brownie in a cup because I like the little pattern that's on the edge of it, alright? So let me taste. Of course, I knew that it was going to taste good. Why worry, huh? This is so awesome. If you guys like the video, hit like below for me. Please share it with your friends and family. Thank you so much for all the support that you give me. This is a 300th video, and let's shoot for another 100, right? Until I see you guys again, take care. Please check out my review channel right here on YouTube. It's called Bear Pantry Talk. Also, check out my vlog channel. It's called Babs Bear Talk.